Okay, so today the topic is a very, very touchy one, a difficult one, that probably everybody is waiting for me to come with all kind of solutions to the problems.
Magic.
Magic words, which I have to disappoint you, I don't. The only word that I can tell you is patient. But let me tell you why I'm saying all this. Now, when the children are small, okay, we were more or less very much successful with them. They always respected our authority. They were leaning on us. We used to, the connection was warm. We kiss them, we hug them, we laughing with them to tell them stories. The years went by, and now time came to, here comes the teenage, time to get mature. Things changed. All of a sudden, they get very moody, going from left to right. Radical changes, extreme changes. They became stubborn. They can't control themselves and they are erupting. And they expressing themselves very much that they need to be independent. And the parents lost the authority. They lost the control over the child. We standing frustrated, we don't know what to do. Pithom we see a strange child. Is this my child? This behavior, where is it coming from all of a sudden? And we don't know what to do with them. Example, the child brought home a book that you know that the book is not good. It's not to our, we don't like this kind of books in our homes. We wanted to take this book from the child. But all of a sudden the child comes and says, if you're gonna take this book, I'm running away from home. Bingo. Or our daughter, 15 years old, hours, she locking herself in a room and she's talking on the phone. Or she disappeared from the house for long hours. When we asking her, where are you? Where were you? And she start to get angry. Why you are on top of me? Leave me alone. They answering. All these are difficulties, a truthful one, and serious ones. So now, in order to know what's going with our kids in this age, and maybe we can help them, let's see how. Now, the teenage process, it's like a long journey of the child to where is he going to? To himself. He is now in a journey to reveal himself who he is. After childhood, steady more or less, and calm more or less. We're starting a new page in the life of the child, time of changes. The body changes. The brain changes, the way that they think, it changes. And all of a sudden the kids, they recognize that they have emotional depth that they never knew it's existing until now. All this is new for them, exciting. And it's causing the child on his way to maturity to think about his life with the new avenues that open up in him emotionally and physically and brain-wise. He's thinking differently now. So now the teenage, he is entering the magic world of the older one. But he is a newcomer. He doesn't know yet how it works. And he wants to build himself a new identity. I'm not a child anymore. What is the difference, the essence one? What is the difference between a child and a person that is mature? What's the difference between them? On the self-image that you buy, that you acquire for yourself. A child don't have image on himself. How a child, he is define himself. According to how he is connected to himself, and I will explain. He doesn't have yet a self-identity because he's under the parents. When you meet a child on the street, okay, what are you going to ask him? What is your family name? Where do you learn? Who are your parents? Did you speak about him now?
No.
Nothing. Why? Because he is still a child. But when you're talking to an older person, who are you? What is your business? It's two different approaches. This is the big difference between a child and a grown-up. When you're a child, you're the son of, I have to, right? My identity, I have to identify according to my family, not myself who I am, from what family I'm coming from. But the older person, he is already he has a self-identity, and he reveals himself according to his job in this world. I'm a doctor, I'm a lawyer, I'm a student. It's a big difference. So now imagine from 13 years old, if it's a boy and a girl is from 12 years old, now they starting to shape their self-image up. They designing themselves. So now, this process to get into, to be independent, this is the cause when you see a child, when he's a teenager, he has moods that sometimes is unbearable. He becoming aggressive, and he has very, very sharp changes in behaviors, and he is not that balanced yet. Everything for him is complicated. But the parents has to know, you're dealing with a child which he is building himself up now. It's not yours. You did your job already. Now it's his. He has to build up his own self-image. But with what? But where does he get all the things that he needs in order to build himself? He get it from what you gave it to him when he was a child. This he will take and he will build himself according to what you supply to him or her until 12 or 13 years old.
Can you give example, like specific?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Let's say you bought your son or daughter Lego or blocks, okay? Let's take blocks for a second. Now, a child, 2, 3 years old, he will build a tower. And you sitting with the child and tell him the bigger one has to be on the bottom. And then when you go up, gradually it gets smaller and smaller. But the child don't have patience to listen to you. What does he do? He breaks it all. And he wants to now build it on his own. The child will try to build the blocks in a different shape, in a different positions. For sure, not like you wanted. But if after all this, who gave him the blocks?
Parent.
The parents gave him the blocks. So from what the parents gave him, with this, it will shape his own game. But you are the supplier. Without you giving him the blocks, he will not be able to build himself up. Did you get what I'm saying?
Yes. Rabbi, you're saying that we as the parents before Bar and Bat Mitzvah are giving them the tools necessary to build themselves?
Yes.
And if we do it correctly, they'll succeed. If not, then...
You're giving him the blocks, big one, a little smaller one, a little smaller, in order for them to be able to build the tower. But they deciding to take this block, the blocks, and to build a train instead of a tower. But for what blocks is he doing it?
I'm the one the parent provided him with.
That's it. So whatever you provided him, he will take it to left, right, but everything it depends on the parents, what they supplied them when he was still a child.
It's a little bit confusing. Like you cannot give a quality to a child.
What do you mean?
You can't make him kind unless sometimes it's
What?
kindness. I would say if you cannot make him a quality. He himself develops the quality.
No, he sees at home all the time that everybody is giving, and you taught him how to give. So when
Okay.
he will grow up, he will shape up his own self that he wants to give in a different way than what he was accustomed to. But still, he will give.
Okay, I got it. Thank you.
Because he wants to build himself independent self-image, not under the parents. He wants to create himself from the beginning, to be a personality, a special one, and he wants to be known not because I'm the son of. He wants to know what he did for himself. He is on the journey to build himself up. But it's very important to remember, he will build himself up according to what? On what you put in his mind when he was a child. The knowledge, the hashkafa, the belief, the habits, what he knows the best from is when he was a child, this, he cannot create something new. This is inside of the child. he will take the same thing that you gave him and he will make something else out of it. This is the rough that we gave him. Now give him the rough and let him build his own home. So now it's also correct the relationship between you and the child. It's very much possible that the connection between you will start to shake. Shake. After all, these years until the child become mature is very complicated. Very sophisticated and very complicated. We really need to know a lot how to deal with that and to know the reaction, where it's coming from. But after all this, the connection of the love that you have between you and your child, the foundation will stay there. This you cannot shake. It might very well be that the child wants a little bit to disconnect himself from the parents. He will look for himself. And he will like to go with his friends. He doesn't want to stay home. He likes his friends now. And we're sitting, eating ourselves. We gave him our life. Why is he all the time stuck to his friends? What do they know? We know better than them. Because they're all in the same boat. They're all going through the same thing. They have a common language. With you now, he doesn't have a common language because you're already a grown-up. You're mature. He is still looking for himself. So what does he have to do with you? He have no language with you now. He have a language with the same people who's searching for themselves. That's why they like the friends. But it doesn't mean that they don't love us anymore. This is what our interpretation, which is not correct. If the child knows, because he have experience from his childhood, that you have patience for him all the time. You're listening to him. And you're loving him without any conditions. If the teenager will feel that you love him as a son, and you're going to accept him in any situation. If you're strong and you have courage, and he knows that his parents are solid, so he knows to trust you and to lean on you. So he will know always in his back of his mind, my parents are always over here to assist me. They understand me that I'm going through now a very stormy age. So now, when this age will start, Girls, 12 years old, we said it already. Boys, 13 years old. The child starting to have changes physically. The brain starting to open up. And he's starting there to get into the highway that leading toward maturity. Usually it used to take from 13 to 18, because the Gemara said, and the Pirkei Avot says, Ben 18 lechuppah, get married already, you matured enough. He wants to build his own family now, because he feels that I'm matured already. He wants to leave his parents and their, and their umbrella. He wants to carry the responsibility with his wife now. Meaning by 18 years old, he's supposed to be already responsible and mature. So it takes 6 years, according to the Torah. But we're living in a modern world, and the reality is far away from the Torah.
The 18-year-old is not mature enough, according to.
Not at all.
Not at all. Mm.
It prolongs the time of the maturity. Why? Because he has to learn more. And if he wants to go to college, it takes even longer time now. So now, how long they're dependent on the parents?
Forever.
So now, if he is going to be a doctor or lawyer, at least until 25, 26, is still under the umbrella of the parents. At least financially. Now to get married in a later age, it becomes a norm already. So what situation it created was the modern life, that a person old enough, sometimes even in the late 20s, still dependent financially on his parents, and is far away from responsibility and decisions which are very, very important in life. He's still a child. So now, can we say, can we draw a line? When is the maturity age will end? What is the measure to find out if the person is mature or not? And what is maturity? This is the ability to influence others and to stop make myself self-centered? Maybe maturity is the courage to accept life with peace, to do what Hashem wants us to do, and not to get angry on things that we don't have control. Maybe that's maturity. It's possible also that maturity is what? I don't depend anymore on my parents. Now I'm independent. So actually, all our life, it's one long journey to maturity. Every age you mature more. Do you understand that age 40, for example, can you compare it to age 25?
No.
When you're becoming 50, 55, can you compare it to age 40?
No, not really.
Not at all. When you're becoming 70 years old, can you compare it when you were 50 years old?
No.
You're maturing along the life. It's a long school to mature. So we all in the same journey, but the kids, 12, 13 years old, they are far, far behind. They're starting the journey now. Now let's go to the Torah. What is maturity according to the Torah? Maybe somebody knows over here what terms the Torah said if you underage or you're already overage. What are the terms? Who knows? Under bar mitzvah, we call him katan. Over bar mitzvah,
Nar.
even one day after bar mitzvah,
Ish.
we call him
Ish.
gadol. Katan, gadol. Zehu. Nothing in between. Meaning the day of the bar mitzvah or bat mitzvah, she becomes already gdola. 13 years he become a gadol. Meaning they mature enough spiritually and you can put on them all the mitzvot already. Interesting, no? A day before, they're not able. A day after, zero. But you cannot compare the mitzvot of 13 years old to the mitzvot of 20 years old, right? And not to 30 years old and not to 60 years old. Meaning all our life we have to develop ourselves spiritually. Meaning we're maturing even spiritually, you're maturing. So we're taking responsibility for our own life now. And Hashem will throw at us all kinds of obstacles. And every mission that we have, the Torah will tell us how to deal with that. So a Jew that lives every day life like it should be, he is in a process all the time to build himself up, to mature more. Every day Hashem will test him how much he is ready to give and to sacrifice, how much trust to the principle that he had, that according to them he was choosing to live, to go to pray every day. Sometimes it's a battle. Yes to go, not to go. A simple conversation with the kids, it will make you mature. And it's a test. Why? Are you able to listen to them? What is the reaction that you have? What is the attitude? How much sensitivity you have there? 5 minutes conversation with your child will mature you. Are we going to act according to our instinct or according to what the Torah wants from us? So itgabrut, you know what it means? In Belashon HaKodesh,
Maturity.
we say itbagrut, boger, mevugar meaning you gever.
Mature, yeah.
להתגבר, meaning to overcome the obstacles. Why? התגברות. You mature when you're able to overcome obstacles. Our teenagers are able to overcome obstacles. So let's see what's going on with the child that he is now on his way to maturity. A child underage, his life is very simple. He knows only one emet, this is Abba, this is Imra, this is my school, this is my bed. No. And he accepts and he knows that he is under the parents and the authority, and he has to follow. Example, the child has only one emet and one sense. So if a child, he never see at home that Abba was cooking. If he'll go to a friend and he see over there a child that his father is standing in the kitchen and cooking, he says he is an idiot, he doesn't know what he's doing, and man is asur for him to cook. Why? He never saw it at home. That's a child. A child, he is sure that the teacher knows everything. And when Ima comes and she wants to tell the child, don't do the math like this. Do it like this. He will say, you don't know. Why? Because Ima is not saying it with the same words that the teacher said. Meaning a child has one mind, one channel mind. Why? Because you don't have yet the ability to get out of the box. So now, when the child becoming bar mitzvah or bat mitzvah, it's a revolution. His body changes. The cells in his brain starting to open up. He understands now things that he never understood before. And now this changes, making him think. And his emotions starting to develop also. So now all the world that was for him protected, sheltered, no ups, no downs, it was. Now it's shaking, starting to shake. And he's losing control over himself, this child. He is drowning with all the thoughts and what he sees around him. And he is terrified, lost. What happened to me? Why am I changing? Who am I? Who is me? My body? My thoughts? The child will not tell you all this, but that was so pay attention. Sometimes your teenager can become saying things that, make a lot of sense. He talks like a grown-up already. 5 minutes later, he can fight with a brother 6 years old, like a child. Then 5 minutes ago, you were acting like adult. Why are you acting like a child now? That's who they are now. To transfer from being a child to be an adult, wow. From one side, he wants to be independent, and from the other side, he shows signs of a child. And that's why it's so much, right, extreme. Because he's afraid from changes. We don't like changes. The child also is afraid from the changes. He says, why my nose growing? Why all of a sudden I have hair in my legs? And pitom, where the changes are coming from? And the parents also get mixed up, and they telling him, you have to decide, are you a child or you a grown up? Leave him alone. He by himself don't know who he is. Here we go. Extreme. We as parents, sometimes we stand there stunned. We don't know what's going on. The changes, the dramatical changes in the mood of the one who is growing up now. Sometimes they're so happy. Mommy, I love you. Abba, I love you. Such a good home over here. They singing there. And all of a sudden, boom, they're in depression, locking themselves in the room, disconnecting themselves. They wetting the pillow with their tears. And they believe that the end of the world arrived. Sometimes you say one word innocently, and the child erupts. You annoy me. I can't take you anymore. What kind of Ima are you? What did I say? What did I say? And the parent will say, what did I tell you already? I'm not coming to justify this behavior, but this period of time between to be a child and to be full grown up, this is the introduction to maturity. The extreme and the drama that the child experiencing now is giving him, it's benefiting, it's supporting the child to prepare himself very good, much better to meet the real life when he will grow up totally. Because life can have extreme changes. Yes? Don't you? You see it? Sometimes you have the money that you need, and sometimes you all the way to the other side. How are you going to cope with this? Sometimes everything going your way, and the next day nothing is going your way. How are you going to deal with it? So it's preparation for life. One day you sing, one day you lock yourself in the room. Until you sort things out and you understand that life is like that. But we as a parents, we don't have to add more gasoline into the fire. If you're a girl, what do you think in her mind now? Pitom she sees changes in her body. What's on her mind all the time?
How she looks, her self-image.
Am I pretty? Is my nose is too long, too short? Am I too tall? Am I too short? Am I heavy? Am I skinny? Because we're living in a world that is emphasizing all the time the outside. So these children of us, boys and girls, they can waste so much time on how they look outside. A boy can sit next to the cutting over here, this over here, and a girl, oh, and now they compare themselves to their friends. How does he look? How do I look? It's a terrible time. And they're frustrated or they worried when they feel that they're not up to par according to the society. Because when a child is a child, he thinks that he can control his body. He doesn't know, because it's not on his mind. But when he gets to be bar mitzvah and up, he sees I have no control even over my own body. The body changes and is not asking me if I want it to change. A girl with few pimples on her nose, she will not go on the street. Why is it? What's wrong with that?
She's embarrassed.
I look terrible. I look terrible. This is over exaggerating, of course. But it's natural and expected. I don't know any other reaction that I can tell to the girl in order to take her away from the pressure that she is in. She doesn't feel good about it. What can I say? It looks good. Also, if we're not going to pay attention to her feelings and we're going to tell her 2 pimples is not a reason that you feel so bad. What's wrong with you? And even if you're going to go to the doctor, the skin doctor, to fix the problem, the child still not convinced. And maybe from our reaction, we're going to make the problem even more severe. The child needs confidence and solidness, to feel solid. And this is our job as parents. You have to agree that it's difficult. You have to accept it. You actually have to feel bad for them. You have to understand their worries. And you have to wait patiently until things will come down. And they will come down. Don't at the end they get married. Huh?
Yes. Yeah.
So, with all the turmoil and thinking, and at the end they get married at the end. So we have to calm down and relax. Take it easy. It's a period of time that it will pass. You just need our understanding. Peacefully. And give him a period of time to calm down. We have to be the place that they know that they can trust. My parents are on my side. And that's what they need the most, to understand them. I didn't talk yet about the religion part, which I'm sure we're all interested in. But also, we have to understand them also. Don't we have ups and downs?
Yes.
Don't we sometimes have to fight with ourselves?
Plenty of times.
And I see ladies which already married. They're covering their hair, but the dresses are not צנוע בכלל. But if the child will put something like that, they will jump up and down. So we have to be very careful. Why? Because we don't feel that we have to impress everybody. It's immaturity. It's immaturity. So if you're already a mother and you have some kind of, you're lacking in maturity, what do you want from 15 years old? We'll get to it. We'll get to it. But one thing, you can go home tonight and to put a big sign, patient. Always the name of the game, patient. I think our time is up. Tomorrow, maybe I will ask my son to speak. I have to go to a wedding of one of my students, children. So tomorrow night, you're not going to see me. You're going to see me daytime at 1 o'clock. Whoever wants to join in. And most probably my son will take over tomorrow night. I will ask him. So I'll see you all If it's Hashem, Tuesday night.
Thank
So
you so much,
we
Rav.
have a class tomorrow at 1 o'clock. And Tuesday night, I'll see you.
Thank you so much, Rav. Thank you.
Have a good
Thank
night.
you, Rabbi,
Thank you.
very much.
Tonight was only the introduction. We're going to get into more details as we go along.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank
Have a
you
good
very
night,
much.
Good night.
everybody.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Good night.
Good
Thank
good
you.
night. Good night.
Thank you.